So to usher in the new age of Xbox, Halo Infinite was supposed to be a dream come true for longtime Halo fans. But it was so bare bones of maps, modes, and features when you compare it to the launch of other Halo games that 20 million players that tried it out just couldn't keep coming back, regardless of how well it played and looked. And now, nearly 2 years later, oh, do I say this? Friggin', I'm gonna chance it. It might be my favorite Halo multiplayer ever. But why is that, and how has the overall opinions gone from Halo is dead to now saying,
I don't give a fuck. I think Halo's low-key bad.
I thought it was basically a dead game, and I love being proven wrong.
I know this feeling. Like I want to keep playing.
Is Halo back, Paris?
I think it's back.
This might be a big moment for Xbox if they play their cards right, because this shift was not instantaneous. It took nearly 2 years to get here, as I said. And in that 2 years, we have seen, the Steam charts that everybody keeps referring to of like, here's the 250,000 peak to now like rarely ever, if not ever, 20,000. The launch of Season 5, though, they made a peak of player base that they have not had in basically a year and a half, aka the launch of Season 2 in May last year. The Winter Update didn't do that, Season 3 didn't do that, Season 4 didn't do that. And the other crazy part in this shift is that Halo Infinite became like the 6th highest selling game on Steam, I guess, even over like Call of Duty when Season 5 launched. But that shows just how many people not only hopped on the game, but are willing to support it. But how did they do that? Content, baby. There was 4 playlists at launch. There was just Big Team Battle, Ranked, Quick Play, and Bot Slayer. That was it. Now you see there is 16 playlists, and a lot of them are rotating out too, so kind of weekly you get something new and different all the time to keep refreshing things. Not to mention the maps. At the beginning, there was just only like 10 maps at launch, and people were complaining about that. But now, not only is there like 10 more developer maps, so that's doubled, it's like tripled thanks to all the community maps that they put in. There's like over 60 maps that they have been rotating in and out of the matchmaking in general because of all the community forged maps that are in that sometimes you can't even tell that that's a forged map. And yes, it's a games of service game. They have improved the battle pass so much and the career progression, and you don't have to do stupid crap like you did at launch where you have to snipe 3 people on capture the flag and each of the snipes are a flag carrier. That was probably a legit challenge back in those days. You just get points for playing the game, and you could even do that going to custom game browser, which is in the game that you could just play whatever junk foolery you want on almost any map you want that the community's making and just do whatever the hell you want. Like seriously, since Forge launched in November last year, it has been the saving grace of Infinite that has really started to make it become the dream come true. The dream come true that is the title, Halo Infinite. The title that I really had such high hopes for when I was reading all the Inside Infinite blogs back in 2021. It was a monthly ritual. I would stream it and I would read these alongside other Halo fans that are excited about it, and we just would see all these foundational pillars that were in the game when it launched, but just like we had so much hopes and we wanted to see that Forge blog and the things that could be doing. We would hope for the thing that has never been in any Halo game until now. Season 5, adding the ability to create AI in Forge is something that I really underestimated has made this game so damn powerful. Like, I feel like my hands are kind of shaking as I do this. I don't know. Like when I made my last video about this, I talked about it a bit, but I was kind of mostly focusing on the Battle Pass stuff. But now that I have actually played it and I have been on certain maps, that is Firefight, that is King of the Hill, that is all these things, that is going to remakes of like old campaign moments that you literally just kind of had to hold out or go through the area, and seeing people like create their very own mini campaign mission basically. It's all things that has never been done in the 20-year history of the Halo franchise. It's something that I personally dreamed of when Halo 3 was a thing. When Halo 3 introduced Forge, that was a thing that took Halo 3 to the stratosphere. It wasn't just the fact that Halo 2 was a huge success. It was that community level of a thing. I know there are some out there, maybe you're one of them, that want to argue about Halo's all about the ranked scene, baby, and that's a big part of it. But the other part of it that made Halo 3 have like the highest player base any of the games ever had on at one time is also the community features, that idea that Forge and Theater mode could bring people back. And right now, that's what the custom game browser is doing that I really didn't think about last video. Thanks to Forgers, we now have levels, firefights, tower defense, horror experiences. There was something I saw on Twitter that actually made me laugh just seeing somebody sprint away from all these elites just chasing him through a hallway. Because people are just scripting things, they're placing things that has these AIs just spawning wherever they want and having even the ability to fight alongside them, like actually having 2 hunters be at your side, or a battle royale map that is being heavily promoted that has AIs as part of the experience while you're still taking on the other players, and there's point systems, and there's maps that you get points for killing AI. And throughout my long history with Halo, Halo 3 and Halo Reach have been defined as my all-time favorite Halo multiplayers. But a moment happened last week that legit made me reconsider that. High Ground in Halo 3 was a map that I enjoyed playing competitive matches, sure, but I also had that fantasy of seeing not just infected players, but actual like campaign enemies working their way up that hill, and me and my squad have to hold off these hordes of enemies for as long as possible, make it through, and then eventually they introduced Firefight, and I was just like, dude, I can't even imagine playing Firefight on High Ground, having that Helm's Deep fantasy from Lord of the Rings of Two Towers, which is still one of my favorite like tower defense fights ever. But I've had that fantasy ever since 2007. And last week, I got to live that fantasy after over 15 years of wanting it. I got together with my patron community. We have some people in there that love Halo, and our squad, just the 4 of us, was just holding off wave after wave of Banished, and we made it through with the last bosses being these Banished hunters, and we did it. And that 10-15 minute game session, when it was over and we all left, I thought about it and I was just like, Infinite is finally that dream come true, where you can have any experience that you want in this game. But this is an Xbox channel that likes to speculate respectfully, by the way. If it's first time here, whatever, that's what we do. We don't like to belittle PlayStation, Nintendo. We like what those guys are doing. But for Xbox, this free-to-play multiplayer game does not have as many players on Steam as like Call of Duty, Battlefield 2042, or even Xbox's very own Sea of Thieves. So is it finally time for Xbox to make a plan to revitalize this game, to bring more life into it? Because the overall opinions for this game have changed. In the words of Master Chief, missions change, they always do. This game is in the hands of the community now. It's a game that can become the true multiplayer platform for Halo, which has been, for many years, Xbox's defining flagship franchise. I don't know what multiplayer-wise could come after this. Like, it's kind of a Super Smash Bros. Ultimate situation where I don't know what Halo's multiplayer does after this game. So Xbox has to boost those numbers. Now there's nothing to fear to do that. There's not as much bittersweet talk about the game now. People are now recepting it very well, and more players means more development things that us, the players, get. Halo Infinite is now in that stage to potentially have a comeback story like Sea of Thieves, like Cyberpunk, like No Man's Sky. And there's really 2 ways to do that. Either A, Xbox shows Infinite at a stage that a lot of events are on, but in order to do that, it's gonna have to be something decently sizable that they're adding to the game, or like promoting a sort of relaunch for the game or something like that. They have to market it right. Another route is things like Among Us, Phasmophobia, and Rust did, which is having certain streamers streaming your game. They could be sponsoring them, maybe adding a battle royale mode, since, I don't know, do the kids still watch that, you know? But that's another way on top of showing up at a stage, is having streamers and a stage. These Twitch drops aren't enough. I know some of you are going to say, well, yeah, they do with these Twitch drops, whatever, but like, that's not enough. I guess if I have a goal of this video, it's to tell you Halo Infinite can now function as this multiplayer platform, like Roblox, I would also imagine, or like Minecraft, where this is the platform that 343 was saying could be the 10-year platform, that players can just keep adding to it. And it's a game right now that can just be the community, and 343 just managing it. And now they can focus on core polished things like adding more ranked playlists or fixing ping or the desynced. And like, those are core issues that still are in the game that they could work on. But without that, as just a social player to this game, this is the dream Halo game many of us wanted at launch. And it's finally here. Go check out Halo Infinite and let me know your honest thoughts. Or if you don't want to check it out, why do you not want to check it out? Maybe shooters aren't your thing, then Game Pass has some games here that I discovered through it that might be for you, so go check out that video. And I appreciate you indulging in this speculation video. I might have something talking about Xbox's 2023 coming up soon, so make sure you subscribe for that. And don't forget to be geek, be proud, be awesome.